Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have for you a first impressions video. Now I actually picked up some new products and I thought it would be fun to give you guys, of course, my first impressions, and by the end obviously I'm gonna have a little bit more makeup that I do have right now, and obviously I just want to see if they're worth the hype. Now what this video surrounds mostly is a foundation. Now I picked up recently this one from Dior. Now this one is a Dior Backstage Face and Body. I actually had a offer from Sephora, so I took advantage of it, and the reason mostly was to pick up this foundation. I really wanted to try it. I have heard so many good things about it, so I really want to see if it's worth the hype. Now it's supposed to be quite beautiful foundation, and it also has to have like a really natural glow, even though that I think it's a matte finish, which that really makes me wonder. Now the bottle, as you guys can see, is quite cute. I have seen this so much on Instagram already, which I'm tempted to do a photo as well, so don't judge me. It's actually plastic, which I think is really interesting. Now I mean obviously it's not a water-based foundation, but it feels quite liquid. Now I'm not gonna shake it because I actually did before this, and when I open it up, it does release a lot of product, just to warm you guys up. But then I also have a concealer that I want to try, a translucent loose setting powder, a brow product, and a primer. But I feel like before the foundation I had to of course try the primer. Now from my Sephora order, I pick up this from Too Faced. This one is the Prime and Peachy Cooling Matte Skin Perfecting Primer. Now I'm not a lover of matte primers. I love my Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer because it's really hydrating. So this one is gonna be interesting, but still I do have combination skin though, so there's some places on my skin that gets a little bit oily, but recently because the weather is quite cold, of course it's getting a bit dry, so that's why I don't think it's smart to go for this. But either way, I wanted to give it a try because it's supposed to perfect your skin. Now I do have already my skincare on, so might look a little bit glowy because I do have my Embryolist cream. Now, oh, that's interesting. It actually has, I don't know if you guys can see clearly, like a peachy color, which it worries me a little bit because my skin has more of a yellowy tone, so I don't know if this goes to it. Now the dogs are going wild because there's a truck outside, so I'm trying to edit this out of video as much as I can. Now it's quite interesting because it has like a mousse consistency. I don't think it hides a lot my pores, to be completely honest, so maybe a product that works great underneath makeup. Maybe it's gonna hold on my makeup. Now it does have a scent, I believe. Yes, it says that it's infused with peach and sweet fig milk, so I think that's the scent that I'm getting, which is quite pleasant. It smells quite fruity, but I don't know, I feel like I'm playing like with kids makeup. I know that a lot of the peach line, if it isn't all of it, it is peach scented, so that's interesting. So now I'm gonna put a little bit just on the side. Now my first impressions about the primer, again, I don't see that much difference. It does mattify, so of course if you do have oily skin, I think this could be your best friend because I think it does that. But I mean, maybe it did hide a little bit my pores, but they're not like, it's not that shocking. So again, maybe a product that works great with makeup. So I'm gonna put obviously my foundation, which I already talked to you guys about, which is the Dior one. Now I'm gonna put this with my fingers just to see how it feels and see what I mean, like it gets everywhere. Now the shade that I picked up is 4W, which I hope that this matches me great. Oh yes, it does. Thank God. Now I'm picking a scent. I think it's like maybe like a herbal scent. It's quite interesting, but it smells really good. Now it does have, I mean, I don't think it's that matte, which I was worried, but again, it hasn't dried out, so I'm not gonna confirm it still, but from what I'm seeing, I'm kind of liking it. And definitely it's a foundation that you can blend it with your fingers because it doesn't dry out too fast. So okay guys, so I just add on just one layer of the foundation and I think it looks beautiful. Like for example, if you really like really natural looking skin, I think just one layer is all that you need. Now of course I read that it's quite buildable, so I do want to give a second one just to see how much it goes. But I feel like with this one I definitely want to use the beauty blender just to see maybe the difference. So I'm gonna put it in my beauty blender. Okay, now definitely is a light to medium coverage because even though that I put a second layer, I can still see a few like lights of pigmentation that I do have on my cheeks. But I think what I kind of love is that it looks quite natural and it does have a glow. I don't believe it's a completely matte foundation, although it does have like a powder finish when you touch it. Nonetheless, I do love how it looks. I think that it covers beautifully. I feel like I definitely can put more because it doesn't feel heavy, and I think it looks really gorgeous, to be honest. If you're a lover of natural foundations, I think this one is gonna be your new best friend. But now I'm gonna try a new concealer. Now I recently picked up this one from the drugstore, which I love when I find drugstore products that work. So I'm hoping that this one does because I'm a huge lover of Maybelline products. Now this one is their Super Stay Full Coverage Under Eye Concealer. I miss so much like the Doe for Applicator Concealer because I have used so much my NARS of Matte Complete Concealer, which I love, but I wanted something a little bit more in liquid form and something a little bit more natural because that one is really high coverage. Even though this one's supposed to be full coverage too, but maybe because it's a little bit more liquid, I think you can definitely blend it in more. So now I love the fact that it has this applicator, which I think it just helps so much. Now the shade that I picked up is 30 Honey. I didn't want it to go too light. Again, I wanted something natural because I don't use foundations on an everyday basis. I definitely use concealer more. So I wanted to buy a concealer that I can use as well as a base. So yeah, so I went a little bit heavy. I always go on the center of my face, so this looks mental, but yeah, I think I put more one side than the other, but I'm gonna use my beauty blender to blend this out. And wow, I love it. It blends really easily and I feel like the color is perfect because it isn't too light, it isn't too dark. So definitely if you have my skin color, go for 30 if you like it like really natural. Oh my god, but I love it. I'm really impressed by this. I love when I find good products at the drugstore, and this one nonetheless is one. Like, look at that. And I'm just using my beauty blender, which it isn't too wet. It has just a tiny little bit of water. But I mean, I love it. It definitely covers, but it does it in the most natural way. So it doesn't look like you're wearing a full coverage concealer. And I have a lot of light coming in through the window. And I just really love what I see. Definitely I can use this as a full-on base. And the color just color matched me perfectly. So wow, I'm really impressed by this one from Maybelline. I was quite surprised. So yeah, I love it. Then definitely with the DIOR foundation, I think it looks quite well. Yeah, so far so good. Now another thing that I wanted to try is this translucent loose setting powder from Too Faced. Now I actually received this small little package from Too Faced when I did my Sephora order, and it has the primer, it has a little lipstick, a little Better Than Sex mascara, and it also got this translucent powder, which I'm not a major lover of powders, but I'm always tempted to try them. Now this one actually has like a peachy color. I think it has a shade. It's actually called Peach Whisper, which I typically use translucent ones. I'm really interesting. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it does have like this peach color, and oh wow, it smells like candy, which I don't know what I feel about it. Either way, I'm gonna use my beauty blender. Now I'm not a fan of baking because I think sometimes it just looks too much, so I kind of like to put maybe a little bit underneath my eyes, specifically when I use liquid products, just to set them up in place. But I don't like to put it all over my skin, so I'm putting it mostly on my T-zone. Now definitely is quite mild, like it becomes nothing, to be completely honest. So of course, if you have oily skin, or if you definitely want to set up your makeup, it does the job. But I don't see much of a difference between this one and my Laura Mercier one. Obviously this one has a little bit of color and a scent, but I think it does what a translucent loose setting powder does, which is mattify and holding the liquid product. So maybe I'll see by the end of the day just what it does to my makeup, but for right now I think it works. Definitely doesn't look heavy, which I kind of like, but yeah, it's good. Now another new product for me. Now these are not new launches, by the way. These are just products that are new to me, obviously, which I didn't explain in the beginning of the video. Now one that I haven't tried, which it really astonished me, is the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil. Now I do own like a brow gel, which I love, but that one is almost out, and I wanted to try a pencil again, even though that I still have my Anastasia Brow Wave, which is one of my fave, but I wanted to try something different. So I want to see like if this one is better. Now this one is the smaller one, so it doesn't have, I don't know if the bigger one has the spoolie. Either way, I'm gonna use my Anastasia one. Now the shade that I picked up is like a dark brown, I think is number 5. So I'm gonna brush them up a little bit. Now I don't have hardly like color on my brows, so I do like to go a little bit heavy. Now definitely is more pigmented than my brow is, but I found it a little bit more drying, so I really don't know if I am a lover of eyebrow pencils or if I like more like pomades or gels. Okay guys, so I just did one eye. I mean, obviously this always takes me a bit of time, but my opinion about it is I don't think I'm a lover of pencils, specifically eyebrow pencils, because I don't have hardly hairs on my brows. So I think it's work great if you just want to define maybe the front or the back, or maybe like a piece of your brow that is missing. But to me, I kind of like to use more pomades because I think they're a little bit more thick, and they definitely are a little bit more easier to line your brows. Either way, I'm gonna do my other brow, and also I want to do a little bit of makeup, and then just to show you how everything looks put together. So yeah, I'll be back in a sec. Okay guys, so I'm back now. I put on a little bit of lipstick, definitely mascara, and did my eyes, and I'm ready to give obviously my final review. Now first thing first, starting with the primer. Still, I feel like this is something that I have to test it throughout the day, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the description box just how the makeup ended, just to see actually if the primer did something. But obviously it is a matte primer, so I feel like it mattifies. It's supposed to hide a little bit maybe the pores, if I'm not mistaken, but it doesn't feel underneath my makeup, which I like. Now I'm not a lover of matte primers, like I mentioned you guys before, but I want to give this one a try just to see if it works. Now of course, next, because I feel like this is the reason of the video, I'm talking about the Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation. I feel like this one wasn't a surprise. I already knew that it was gonna be good, because I already have seen the hype and I get it. I love how it feels on my skin. I love the natural look. that it is quite a buildable foundation. I love the tiny little scent that it has. So I think like there's so much love to this one, so I do highly recommend it if you guys love really natural looking makeup. I am on my 30s, so I'm not a lover of full coverage foundation nowadays. I want something that just doesn't sit on top of my skin. I want something that it blends in, that it makes me look young and natural. So I feel like this foundation works perfect for it. Now talking about the Too Faced Peach Perfect Translucent Loose Setting Powder. Again, it's a translucent powder. I think it does what it says. So I feel like if you're a lover of baking, this would definitely be a great product for you. This one actually has a tint, which it doesn't show on my skin, so I feel like it doesn't matter if you have a color. I think it eventually becomes nothing. Now it does have a little bit of a scent, so if you're a lover of like scented makeup, I feel like this peach line is all over there. And of course, one I feel like the biggest surprise in this video to me was the Maybelline Super Stay Full Coverage Under Eye Concealer. I mean, this thing is incredible. So if you came across this concealer, you're gonna be really happy with it. Just the fact that it cost me less than $6 and it really does its job. I'm really pleased. Now, I don't know how much it lasted throughout the day, so I'm gonna put it out to the test. I'm not gonna give it a 10 yet, but first impressions, I think this was like my favorite one from all the things that I tried. I think it really does cover. It's really lightweight, and I can use this all over my face, which I really love. Now lastly, talking about the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil. I mean, if you guys can see, this definitely make my brows pop, which I love. I do have to have highly qualified pigmentation products to use them because I hardly have hairs. Now I find it a little bit dry, to be completely honest, and I think I like more the brow gel than this. Nonetheless, I think like this one is perfect on the go, just to put it maybe if you're traveling on your travel bag, or maybe just to put it on your purse, because I think it's such a practical little product. And for a person like myself who feels like my brows are like the most important part of my face, is a necessity. But I wasn't like too surprised by it. It took me a while to place my brows in place, but I mean, it is a great product, and if you're a lover of brow pencils, definitely this one is one in the top. But yep guys, this was my first impressions video. Like always, everything is going to be linked below, as well as the rest of my makeup if you guys are interested. But yeah, so I will see you next time with a brand new video. Bye.